You're watching Tech Talk in affiliation with Tech for Techs. We're a community that supports independent trade with the help of vendors and distributors. We're live every Thursday at 8 p.m. London time, and we'll be streaming to Facebook and YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Google, TuneIn, and many more. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, and your host, Philip Griffiths.
Hello everyone and welcome to Tech for Tech Tech Talk. This is a live show and today we have got Wardwiz on, so this is an introduction to Wardwiz. Gary, if you are there, you may want to turn your camera and microphone back on so we can actually see you. Let's hope he is. Oh, it's going to be a really short show. The last thing we need is technical issues at the moment. So if you're having issues, Gary, if you want to just log in and log back out again and try again. So, right, let me just turn the chat on. Right, guys, if you can see us, please comment in the chat. Let us know, obviously, who you are, what you do, and we'll give you a shout out. So, first of all, we've got Ian saying, enjoy the show, guys. So, obviously, he'll be back on. So, let's just see if we've got Gary sorted. Hi, Gary. I don't know what's happened to your camera or microphone. Are you there? You can see me. Can any of you see Gary? Or is he just going to be the invisible man tonight? Can anyone hear or see Gary? Let me know if you can, because, well, I can't. So let me just check another stream just to make sure. Okay, Gary, can you just do me a favor and try a different web browser? Okay, well, this is going to be an interesting show then if we don't have a guest on who's going to show us his products, but I'm pretty sure he will be back in a few seconds. Right, let me just run you through a few things. So if you don't know already, we've got TechMax coming up in a few weeks' time. So the 24th of June, if you haven't got your tickets, go get them now because they are running out and will definitely run out before the show is actually here. So let me have a look. Oh, it looks like we've got Gary back. So Gary, hey,
apologies.
Can we hear you?
I was here all the time.
There we go. We can hear you as well. That's good. Let me just quickly go through the chat and say hi to everyone, and we'll come back to you.
Yes.
So, right, okay. So we got evening from Richard at RL Supplies. Hi, Rich. We've also got Jason on as well, saying can see you. We've also got Peter from Scan Station in Bognor Regis. We've also got Alison from EADR in Norfolk. That's East Anglian Data Recovery. She's going to be at the TechMax show as well, guys. Can you... so can see you, Phil. That's good, Rich. And there we go. Yeah, we know you couldn't see him. You can't. Hopefully you can see him. Just let me know, everyone. Can you see Gary, or is he the invisible man at the moment? I'm pretty sure you're not. Right, okay. Right, we can see you both now. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Right, Gary, if you want to introduce yourself first, let us know who you are, what you do, what is Wardwiz, and then we'll go on for information about the giveaway, and then we can do a bit of a presentation and then Q&A and so forth.
Yeah, thank you. Well, my name firstly is Gary Connor, so and thanks Phil for inviting me on this evening. I've spent around 30 years in the IT distribution channel, starting back in the day in I think in the 80s at computer center distribution. In the good old days, then there was only I think 2 IBM PCs to choose from. So my job as a distribution account manager was fairly simple. You either had an AT or an XT, and a monitor and a keyboard were extra, and that's all we sold. So it was an easy way in. I obviously things changed quite quickly, and I moved on from computer center distribution to a smallish company called European Micro, who were, I suppose, back in the early days of the early 90s, were a broker type company, but they were a customer of computer center as well as supplying computer center. And I went there to help build them a distribution type channel, and we ended up growing the business to 50 million revenues by 2000 in about 6 years, supplying a lot of the small and medium resellers across the country with initially IBM and then HP Compaq products as Compaq, and then in HP as it became. I led a management buyout, and we created a UK company called Square One Products, and I was there until 2016, and that was a standalone distributor, again an independent type, so we had no fixed agreement with HP or Cisco or Smart Products. So, but on the other hand, on a good day we'd be the best of friends, because we'd buy products and put them into stock and sell them to resellers at discounted prices. On a bad day, we might be public enemy number one, because a reseller that we've supplied has won a deal off one of their more preferred suppliers that they've wanted the deal to go direct to Cisco or HP or whoever. So we always sort of walk that line. But we were successful about it, and my experience had generally been in the distribution channel. So I've always worked with resellers. That's where I feel comfortable. So having a couple of years out of the industry till about 2018, 2019, I dipped my toe back in. I had my small trading company of my own. I was approached by Wardwiz, and Wardwiz is a German antivirus vendor. They've built and designed their own product in 2014. They launched it in Asia and India and had considerable success there. They started to roll it out into the German market and have had success there, but they didn't really have any reach in the UK or any contacts in the UK. So they approached myself to see if we could look at the UK market. So initially, 2 things sprung to mind. Is firstly, I'm not an expert on cybersecurity. I'm not a technical person so much, but I did know there were some big brands and they had an awful lot of money behind them to advertise on TV, Vask, Kaspersky, Norton, etc. And we can't compete with those. So we really started to look at how we could do things slightly differently. So the good thing is that our products, Wardwiz, is fully developed now. It's OPSWAT Platinum independently rated, which is the highest they would give to anyone. The Germans very wisely added in lots of additional features which maybe are slightly not found in some of our competitors, and a lot of parental control features are also built in, which is handy if you're selling to the consumer and parents market, and keeping children safe online is a really big topic at the moment. And unfortunately, during the lockdown, I spent quite a lot of time speaking to the NSPCC and other groups and parents groups and the Cyber Resilience Centre, and learning a lot about what sort of things and what dangers the children are in. So I've even written a book called Protecting Children of the Digital Age, which is sort of sponsored by Wardwiz, and parents can download that alongside, or they'll have a free copy. If they become a subscriber of our software, we give them a copy of the ebook, and it helps them hopefully learn something and help them protect the kids as part of the sort of package we include for our end customers.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Just before we go on any further, just go to the chat. So, hi Jason from Jay's PCs and Proactive IT Services, and hi David from Scorpion Computers near Sunderland. So, back to you, Gary.
Okay, so I think I prepared a brief presentation, and I won't bore you with all of it, but if we could flick through that, Phil, for the audience, that might help tell a little bit about the story.
That's pretty good. Do you want to talk, mention the giveaway first? Because I'm guessing a lot of these people want free stuff. I know you do, David. I know you definitely want free stuff. I know you. So what are we giving away? How much is it worth, and how do they get it?
Okay. Well, everyone likes free stuff, including myself. So what we're giving away tonight is a license pack. So we're giving away 10 of our Essentials Plus licenses, which are for PC, laptop, tablet, etc. They have a value of £40 per license at retail, and we're giving 10 of those licenses to the first 100 partners. Hopefully we'll get 100 partners viewing your show, Phil. I'm sure we will. The first 100 who can send an email and provide some details about the company, and we'll send them free of charge, and you can either use them, test or play with, give to some of your customers to get some feedback and start the ball rolling. So that's a value, I think, in total of about £40,000 worth of free software we're giving away tonight. So.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. I've had one or two people say they're having, I think, a slight crackle on your voice or losing your voice, Gary. I'm not sure if you've got a bad connection or if you've got something running in the background, but just a heads up there. Yes, David, we did say free stuff, and Gary's sound is really bad my end, so I'm not sure what else we can really do, to be honest with you, than kicking you out and putting you back in again. But if you want to just try talking again, see if it makes any difference.
Yeah, I'll try. I've turned the microphone settings up slightly, so I don't know if that helps at all.
Yes, I think it's what they're saying. It sounds more like a little bit choppy, like you've probably got a bad connection or something like that. I don't know. So I didn't notice it in the pre-show, to be honest. But we'll just see how it goes. And worst case scenario, if we lose you, just log back in again. You've got the link, so you should be fine. We'll do the best we can. Okay. So yeah, David said it's a bit of a crackle. So basically, everyone who sends Gary an email, I'm going to put his email address on the screen now. Okay, so it's gary@wardwiz.com. That's Gary, Gary, with the @ WARDWIZ.com. If you send him an email, you're going to get 10 licenses, basically, of the security program, what is obviously showing off today, of Wardwiz. And basically, that's worth £400 retail. And he's going to do that for the first 100 people who email him. So get emailing him now, just in case, obviously, you're not one of the first 100. I don't know if he'll stretch it to 101. He said specifically 100. So just make sure you do send in that email. Worst case scenario, if you send him an email with your contact details, obviously, you've got 10 security licenses. You can try them yourselves. You can resell them, do whatever. You can see what it's like. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to harm you. It's not going to cost you anything. You might as well just sign up. And I must admit, I've been running the security today on my PC, and it's got a lot of features in it I didn't realize it had, and a lot more than most security companies do. And we'll start your presentation now, Gary, and we'll go through that and see basically what features and what it actually does.
Thank you.
So chat, I'm just going to turn you off for a bit. I can still see the replies if anyone does chat. I'll bring them up afterwards. Just want the presentation on full screen so everyone can see it properly. So go ahead, Gary. Let me just get rid of your name off the screen there as well. Okay. There we go.
Yeah. Well, as I said earlier, Wardwiz was created by Harold Swender. He created the company in 2014, And at that point, he wanted to design his own security system pretty much from the ground up. So we don't use anyone else's, if you like, technology or cut and paste any parts from anyone else. Some other people do use some of our features, but we're under contract not to say who they are and what features they use. So they started in Germany, but they've really grown very quickly in the South Asian market, and then they've got an Indian partner there who's been really successful, as well as obviously the German-owned company, which are doing pretty well in their own country. So outside of that, we're less well known, but hopefully that's something we can start to address this year. I've been speaking to a few resellers. We've redone the website, as I say. We've started the book. We're trying to make a whole new package available for a new generation of consumers who feel that they want a little bit more from their antivirus provider. If we go on to the next slide. So we are a security vendor. We have 3 core products really. We're aimed at the consumer small business market. So our products really are standalone. They're not for big corporates and to run across networks. And we have a product called Essentials Plus, which is for laptops, tablets, desktops and PCs. We have Android Essentials, which works on mobile, and that's currently a growing market for us. So many people have antivirus already, perhaps on the laptop, and yet more of us now are using our mobiles for email, banking, storing our apps, using different apps, playing games, surfing the internet, all the things you do on a laptop, we do on our phones now, and yet we neglect to have any form of security on those devices. So potentially for you, some of you resellers, or probably all of your PC customers, will have mobile devices. So that could be a new income stream for people you speak to supply them with license keys for their mobile and protect their mobile devices as well as their PCs. We have a cut down version for iOS. Unfortunately, it's cut down because of Apple's rules. Apple don't allow many of the brilliant features we have on our Android to work currently on an Apple device. So that's why it's a cut down feature. So if you can go to the next slide, please. So trying not to sound like Chris Whitty in the government things a few months ago, because we've all had enough of that.
Yeah, I think we have, haven't we?
Yeah. I think I've spoken about most of that, because that covers the why we should use Wardwiz, because we've got the 3 different products. I'd just like to mention a few of if you move on to the next slide, a few of our, I think, key features for our antivirus software. I think is on the next slide, is it, Phil?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, next one after that, I think. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we have many of the, if you like, I would say standard antivirus, the anti-ransomware protection, heuristic scans, which is based on the behavior of viruses rather than a known virus. We have a real-time scanner, so that works consistently while your system's on, and if you're looking at things, it's keeping you protected. And some of the real-time scanners or some of the antivirus providers don't always have the real-time scanner, in which case when it goes off, or if it goes down or switches off, you don't realise. So you're not protected while that feature's not on, whereas ours is on, and it will tell you if it's going to go off for any reason. There's a Registry Optimizer, which improves the performance of your PCs, which might be particularly important to some of your viewers. And I use that today with we've got a new IT support guy who's straight out of university, and he's just loaded it on to his laptop today, and he used the real-time scanner to show how much power and how much of his processing was being wasted in the background. So his system ran a lot more quickly once he'd done that. As I say, we have a range of Parental Controls, which allows you to manage the screen time for your children and restricts uses of devices. Even on the mobile software, you can have an area where you can geo-fence the child. So if he goes to the cinema or to the park, for instance, put the address in. If he leaves that area and goes 50 metres outside of that area, the parent would get a warning notification to say the child is not where they're supposed to be, which allows you to contact the child on the phone. You can run your own custom scans at a time to suit you. There's a built-in firewall for an added layer of protection. So those are the key features of our, if you like, Wardwiz Essentials, which is our core product. I don't know if there's another slide. Is there? So that, yeah, that just mentions as I said before, we have the iOS and the Android products. If anyone's interested, put that in your mail when you send for your free licenses you'd like to, and I can send you further details of those products as well. Yeah, those are some of the features. And the Android app, which I think is probably worth the money on its own, has an anti-theft feature. So if you lose your Android device or if it's stolen, if someone tries to use the keypad, then it takes a blind photo and it sends it to your secure Wardwiz account. So you can log onto your Wardwiz account on a different device and it will show you a picture of the person who's holding your mobile phone and the GPS location of where the picture was taken. So you can go and say, hello, hopefully it's a waiter or someone might have found your device where you've lost it in a bar or in a restaurant. And you can go and ask them, have you found my mobile device? And if they say no, you can say, well, this looks like you. So that will help to retrieve the product. You can also remotely delete your files and apps on an Android device if you've lost it, which again helps you protect your personal data, which is a growing, something that people want nowadays. I think, yeah, that's the anti-theft details I mentioned. So that's covered. Is there another slide? So those are some of the people that we've already been working with. CPP Group are a massive insurance company. Obviously, they insure mobiles and people's mobiles, and they have taken a huge amount of licenses because they like the anti-theft features. And for them, it makes sense when someone buys a contract to insure a £500, £700 mobile phone with them. They provide some of our software as free of charge as part of the insurance policy, and the end user gets more chance of getting their device back. And of course, CPP have then less claims to pay out, so it sort of makes sense for them. License King are a massive European, German retailer. They specialise in selling licenses and Microsoft and other people's, and they're a big partner for Wardwiz as well. But we're looking at more of the independent channel of people like you guys to help start taking us to market, and maybe a couple of retailers who are looking at the mobile software predominantly rather than the laptop version. So that's a brief history. If anyone's got any questions, I'm not seeing any. No.
Just turning the chat back on. So, guys, if you have got any questions, send them through, and obviously we'll ask. So, obviously, you can ask anything. You can ask Gary what he had for his lunch. You can ask him about Wardwiz if you really want to. It's really up to you. So let me just go through people. So we just had a few people saying hi all. So we got hi Peter and hi Alison and so forth. So guys, I can see you watching. Here we go. So is this available as a retail product or just download license? And this is from Richard Overfield.
Okay, so I presume you mean in a retail box product where currently it's just downloadable, but we've already made preparations to make license keys on like a small card, so you could buy and display the cards and hand or sell the license key as a small card with in each one will have an individual license on. So yes, that will be available shortly.
Right, sounds pretty good. Call Me is asking what are the prices, but before you get to the prices, Call Me, if you send Gary an email to on the screen, so that's Gary at wardwiz.com. Okay, if you send him an email, you will get 10 free licenses if you're in the first 100 people who send him an email. So then you can try the software, and well, you get 10 of them free. So that's a good start for the pricing, isn't it, if you're getting them for free? So I'm not sure if you want to mention exactly what the prices are on the live show, Gary, because obviously as time goes by, obviously people might watch it in a year's time, but obviously you can always say at the moment there is this certain price. It's up to you.
So, well, currently the retail price is £40 per license per year plus VAT for the end customer. So if they come on our site, they buy it for £48 for the first year, and it renews at that price. For resellers, we're looking at a first year cost of around £10 per license. So they can still sell it at £20 or £30 or £40. We really
that's pretty good actually. So that's a fourfold increase. So you could potentially sell it cheaper than it is on the Wardwiz website if they wanted to, and so forth.
Absolutely, yeah. And so our key motivation is to build something long term. So the way the system will work is that hopefully resellers will take the licenses at the discounted price, either build them into a package with the PC or the laptop or the device that they're supplying the customer, or sell it alongside and make some extra margin. And then as the customer puts in the license key, they will register it to themselves. We will then capture that piece of data, link that data to that reseller's license key, and then the reseller can log on to the customer portal to see how many of their licenses have been activated. And at the end of each year, as they renew, the reseller will receive a 25% rebate of the renewal fee.
Okay.
So
sounds pretty good. Sounds like another security company what's been pretty popular, where obviously if the customers renew, you get a slice of the pie, basically.
Yeah, that's right, and that will be ongoing as long as those customers keep renewing. You'll be able to see those things, and you can make a claim. And one of the things we're looking at doing is that I had a great meeting with a company called Prosper 2, which probably none of you have ever heard of. But they run a rewards program for Samsung. And the way the rewards program is, and I think we will be using them for our renewal fees, is that once you sign up as one of our resellers, you will receive a Wardwiz or Prosper MasterCard in the post, and you sign for it. And then as you get a rebate at the end of year one, if you've sold, I don't know, let's say 10 licenses. So you're due, and they renew at £40, so you get £10 a license in commission. You sold 10, so you're due £100. Rather than you can press the button to claim your £100, and rather than bother raising an invoice, which we send an invoice to the company, we send a payment to the company, and that shows on your banking and goes into all that. We will then download £100 onto that MasterCard for you to spend as the business owner as you wish. Now
that's pretty straightforward.
It is pretty straightforward to manage as well, and it'll be really simple for the resellers to see what they're owed, and they'll see a statement and they can go, right, I'll claim £100, £500, whatever the amount is. It will automatically feed then, and within I don't know, probably 2 weeks. It might take 14 days. Might be a lot quicker when it gets going. They'll have that value on a MasterCard, which is in their possession to spend anywhere. Now, the beauty of that is it classes in terms of our expenditure and the reseller's expenditure, classes as a reward in terms of it's not classed as a payment into the account of the company. So I'm not saying it's a tax dodge, but what I'm saying is it's a very tax efficient way of taking a payment.
That was one way to get around it, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it's the way Samsung use it for all. They have their resellers, and if you're registered with their system and you sell, I think, one of their TVs or something, you put a claim into Samsung, and they use their cards, and it just goes straight onto the card. So it's a bit like an awards scheme. So
that sounds pretty good. So that's right. Okay, let's just go through some of the questions on here. Well, first of all, regarding the renewal or the revenue, the 25% you get, is that for just a set amount of years, like 1, 2, 3 years? So if someone renews a product for 2, 3 years, you get the revenue, or is it like a lifetime deal?
No, it's a lifetime deal for as long as that end customer is renewing that license. Then you will get that revenue, and we'd be happy. I know that's a touchy subject in the marketplace at the moment, but we'd be happy to put something in writing with each reseller as part of the agreement to make sure that they get that.
Good.
Yeah.
Right, let's go through the chat then. So, is there a reseller program or commission on renewals? I think we've covered that one, Richard. Just so.
Well, if people want to see more in the details, if they send me the mail, they'll get the free licenses, and I'll explain a bit more in writing.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Right. So, Colmy says, can it be used on Macs? I think he missed the beginning of the show.
Yeah, not really, if I'm honest. I mean, it can be used on Mac, but you don't get so many of the features. So I wouldn't.
So yes,
but
no.
Put it in. Yes, you can put it on a Mac. Will it do all the features? No. So.
Yeah, it's the way Apple's designed. They're a bit funny.
Yeah, it's an Apple design rather than a. Yeah.
It's a shame. Right, no. So. Colmy's saying he's having an issue downloading it in Edge. It's saying it's unsafe to download. Is that because it's an exe file? I'm presuming he's downloading a trial off the website or something along that lines.
Yeah, it could be just because it's an exe file. I think I've not seen that issue before, but
yeah, just try with a different browser. Colmy, try Chrome or something like that. Edge can be a bit of a pain, to be honest. I'm not saying that Microsoft products are ever a pain, but you know they are. So right, Richard is saying, I know you're trying to keep the process and the product as simple as possible, but a number of competitor products can be used on free devices. Any plan for a multi-device license?
Yes, is the short answer on that. What we would, I know it's in development right now, and if people or resellers have got a real demand for it straight away, again, put it in the mail, and I can hurry up the parent company in Germany to make sure it's ready within the next couple of months.
Yeah, personally, on my, because obviously I've got a retail store as well, I'd find that the free user licenses would be a big benefit, to be honest, because we do get a lot of customers. They'll want it on the PC and the laptop, or they've got two people or an adult and a child in there. So that rather than having to buy it 3 times and 3 separate licenses and maybe have to renew it on 3 different email addresses, it's best all under one thing.
Okay.
So, but again,
3.
Yeah. But again, everyone's slightly different. Obviously, Richard's obviously saying about the free devices, and I do know quite a lot of people do buy them because different ones because they've got so many licenses, even 5 licenses on some. But obviously, that's for you guys to decide. I'm not telling you how to run your product. So,
no, I mean, the good thing about if you like, my position is yes, there's a German parent company, but the German parent company is really flexible in their approach to the UK market. So if that's what we need, then that's what we will get, ready for the market. So.
Right, get you. Right, guys, the guys who are watching, I do realise that one of the streams, what is watching, is for some reason the comments aren't coming on the screen. I am watching it, and I'm going to read out those comments as they come through, so I don't think I'm missing you. The first one of those questions on there is, do we have to buy in bulk to get those prices? So obviously that £10 price. So do they have to buy 10 units, 25 units to get it at that price?
I think if we're dealing direct, I think we'd probably just start at packs of 10 as a minimum, just to start things going.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Next, to buy it, obviously, where do we buy it from? Do we have to email you? Do you have a proper like a portal or distributor or something along that lines?
We're just finishing, we'll just be launching, I think, in about a week to 10 days, the reseller section of the portal. So initially, you can email me, and what we'll do is we'll send emails out to say the portal's now ready, and then you can go in and register your company as a reseller partner, and then you'll be able to order the licenses and then download them accordingly. Or if you need a retail product, order them and we'll get them sent out.
Okay, that's pretty good.
One thing I also will also be doing is with the initial, the first orders, if people need some marketing material when they place the first order, we'll send that out as a pack. So if they need some boxes or, I don't know, window stickers or a few posters or something to put in the shop, that will come with your first order.
Okay, that's pretty good. That was actually another one of the questions was, do you provide any point of sales materials? And you've answered it there, so it saves me asking the question. It's saving me do a job here. Right, looks like we just had James log in. He's saying he's a bit late this evening. Don't worry, James. If you haven't already, James, and you haven't seen, if you email Gary, who's on the show at Wardwiz, that's gary@wardwiz.com. The email address is bottom left of the screen. He will, as long as you were one of the first 100 people who do it, he will send you 10 licenses, should I say, of Wardwiz over for free. So, well, you can't complain at that. So just give it a go. Just download it. Obviously, send him an email, should I say. Obviously, send him your details as well, so who you are, obviously. Just don't send him a blank email. Just obviously make sure you do enter your email, your name and company and address and stuff like that, so he can contact you and get you sorted. But he will send you 10 free licenses. So that's pretty good. I'll leave that address on the screen. So Cormac says, issue was it stopped you downloading from the trial, but you can if you go into download center. Okay, so something probably to look at on your web. So on the trial screen, it has issues, and not. It may just be because he's in Ireland. Everything's a little bit different. So our Irish viewers are always a little difficult, aren't you, Cormac? So he always has an issue with everything. It's the potatoes that power the computer with over there. It causes a few problems. I'm probably going to get hunted down by him one day, to be honest.
I'm glad you said that, not me, Phil. So.
Yeah, he knows I'm laughing having him on. So right, okay. Okay, we've already answered the question. Is there a revenue share system? So basically, yes, which is 25% of the renewal. Can you brand it as your own? So let's say if the customer wanted it, say, I know another security company who's doing this as well. They basically don't totally rebrand it. So it'll say basically your company name or whatever you want to call it. Let's just say Chips Secure / and then Wardwiz or something like that. Can they get it branded their own if they wanted?
I'd have to check, but it'd have to be probably for a large quite a large volume. I wouldn't
Right,
rule it
okay.
out, but when you actually put it on the device, it comes up with a Wardwiz logo, and I'm not sure how we
Yeah.
would be able to take that off. So
Yeah. That's for your technical team to work
it's a
out. So
it's a technical question, but I know the first part of it would be, well, how many would you like before
yeah,
they if it's a piece of work? I'm not ruling it
something
out, but
maybe
I
to
don't know
add
if
on
they
in
do.
the future.
Yeah.
So right, okay. So let's have a look. Do you have a monthly version available, like for MSPs, so they can basically install it on a customer's computer, charge them
Yeah.
however much a month, let's say £4 a month or whatever, and then they can manage it from their end and cancel them, and then obviously you charge them a monthly fee.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we charge a monthly fee, so they can pay monthly. Yeah,
Yeah, okay, that's pretty straightforward then.
yeah. I think it's £3.50 the retail a month. I think it was.
For
Yeah,
retail, obviously,
yeah,
it'll be cheaper for resellers and so forth.
yeah.
So,
Absolutely. Yeah, it'd be yeah. We could sort that out. So yeah, that's no issue to if they prefer a monthly.
okay, looks like you are getting a few people having the same issue using Edge by the looks of it, and Chrome
Right.
downloading the trial. But further down the website, that works fine. So just have a look at that one. So
Yeah, I
that
will
was
do.
from
Yeah,
David.
I'll speak to the technical people and say I don't know
It's
why
one of
that.
those things is you don't always realise, depending on how you got stuff. I know I've had stuff on my website and I think it's been working fine, and then suddenly you just get someone out of the blue say, that button at the top of your screen, it doesn't actually work.
Yeah, we've even got somebody that's they come in. They're currently doing a tea placement, and what they're doing one day a week, and on that day, half of the day is going through the website and pressing buttons and trying things. But maybe they
That's
haven't
it.
pressed that one. But
Yeah, you just
yeah,
never know.
apologies.
It might
Yeah,
just be
apologies.
one of those things, depending on what web browser you're using or whatever, or what version of it and stuff. It can make huge differences. I know it can be a pain
Yeah,
sometimes. We've had that as well. Right, guys, if you have got any questions, make sure you send them in to Gary or send them into the show. Just obviously
yeah,
comment. You can always email him as well if you want to speak separately to him. His email address is on the screen. It's gary@wardwiz.com. Obviously, make sure you include your contact details as well, because he'll send you 10 free licenses worth 400 quid. And he's doing that for 100 people. That's 40 grand's worth of stuff he's giving away today. So make sure. Is there a deadline on this competition? Let's just say if someone was a bit late logging in, have they got a deadline to send you an email, or is it just the first 100?
I think we'll do the first 100 and see how that goes. That's the
So,
easiest way. So, but
so if anyone
hopefully,
is,
hurry up.
so if, so if anyone is, so if, yeah, have I got your email address right? Gary@wardwiz.com, or is it co.uk?
It is. Gary@wardwiz.com is the email address. I know the site's
Okay,
.co.uk. It's
so
because the
that's like an
Germans have got the
international one.
.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Oh,
yes, Jason, it is com, not co.uk.
yeah.
Okay, so not to
I don't know if
confuse you.
anyone wants to see as well. That is the copy of the. You can't really see it, but that's the copy of
Let me
the book.
enlarge you.
There we go. That's the paperback version of our ebook. So as you can see, it's a fairly substantial piece of work. There's 140 pages there of advice and help for parents on what sort of discussions they can have with the children, where the dangers are, what they can do in terms of parental controls, and simple to follow step-by-step guides to setting parental controls. And as we say, any of our subscribers, so if you provide a customer with the software and they activate the license key, they'll get an email to say, would you like to receive a copy of our ebook as part of the package? Obviously, if they're not a parent, it might not be so relevant for them, but if they are, or if they know someone, or if they're a grandparent, it's a great piece of work. We've provided it to the NSPCC and other parents groups, and we're speaking to a few schools as well about going out, getting our brand out there and helping keep more children safe online.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. So sorry to confuse you, Jason. I'm not saying you're easy to confuse or anything like that, but yeah, it's definitely .com for his email address. Okay,
Yeah.
but the website's co.uk. So right, okay. So Richard's saying I can't see a VPN mentioned in the specs, but there's a link to Wardwiz VPN at the bottom of your homepage. Is a VPN included?
No, the VPN's not included. It's something we trialed for a few months early, in the middle of last year, and it's something the German office had trialed. And at the moment, the take up was really small, unfortunately. So it's not off the table, and we can bring it back in. But having spoken to a few resellers and a fair amount of consumers currently, it wasn't required, so we've left it off of the site at the moment.
Okay, there's a simple answer for you. Jason, I think you're getting a bit too confused. The banner is for his website, so that's wardwiz.co.uk. That's the UK website, but his email address is .com. Okay, so not to confuse you or anything there, Jason. So right, okay, let's carry on. So I've got okay, so you touched a bit on this before, but question I got is what security definitions do you use? Obviously, a lot of different security vendors tend to reuse other people's and so forth and don't actually use their own and so forth. So who do you use for your security definitions?
We use our own, so that's based in Germany, and I think on the German servers they have the highest rating for privacy and security, even higher than the UK guidelines. So that's constantly being updated.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. So I think that's pretty straightforward. So the answer to that is their own. As simple as that. So, right. Okay. So next question. I'm not interested in parental control. Can I still sell it as a standard security or disable parental control? Or do you have a version what doesn't have parental control?
We don't have a version that doesn't have parental control. It doesn't automatically come on. It's a feature on the bottom of the screen as an optional thing to set for the end customer. So you can supply it as an antivirus product and sell it as such. People don't need to use the additional features at the bottom.
So you could really sell it as a security thing, and then it's a extra bonus that you've got parental control in it as well, if there was.
Yeah, that's right. It is a security product first and foremost. But if you like, the Wardwiz view is that antivirus on its own isn't quite enough, so we wanted to have some extra features. But I understand they're not for everyone, so that's fine.
Right, okay, that sounds pretty good. Right, so let's have a look. Okay, this is an interesting one. Why should I buy this over, say, unnamed security company? So basically, why should I buy Wardwiz instead of, let's just say, all the different ones out there, Kaspersky, McAfee, Norton, blah, blah, blah. No doubt I'll have someone from Norton McAfee telling me off next week, but so be it.
Yeah, so will I. So will I probably. I mean, I suppose a number of reasons. I think we give a really good commercial offering for resellers. So that's the first thing. If you're buying it as a reseller, I think we're building a new channel. We want to work with you guys. And we want to look after you guys. And I know some of you have not been particularly well looked after. So as a reseller, that's a reason. As an end customer, I think we do pretty much all of, we've got every feature that the other big brands have. And we also have the extra features such as the anti-theft and the standalone mobile and the parental control features, and some other, as you found using the product today, Phil, some other features that some of the big brands don't have, and it's all inbuilt. So as an end customer, I think we offer a really good product in comparison with anyone's. I think ours stands up well, and it has additional features. And again, if you're building a community with your customers, then the parental controls and the advice and the help and the ebook all help.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the security at the moment, and it is quite simple to look at, but you don't realise until you go in, and it does go a lot deeper. So you go to the main page, it tells you your system's protected, straightforward, when the last scan was done, and then you've got options at the bottom for scan, firewall, and so forth. But as soon as you click them, it gives you even more options. So you've got your quick scan, custom scans, anti-rootkits, full scan, boot time scan, schedules. Scan settings, exclusion lists, blah, 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 blah. There's lots in there. Same for firewalls, lots of options. Parental control, I haven't gone into that. I probably, because I was doing a live show and I didn't want to lock myself out of it for whatever reason. It's got an email scanning in there as well. You got tools, so you got data encryption. I can't remember the last security program I used what got data encryption on. Registry Optimizer. You can recover files, what you've repaired and quarantined. You can update via the internet as standard, or if you, let's just say you had a problem getting on the internet and you needed to scan the machine, you could download the files on a USB stick, the definitions, and do it manually according to this as well. You got utilities, auto run scanner, temporary file cleaner, USB vaccination, Wardwiz data vault. It's endless. And then you've got reports as well. It tells you all the reports about everything's done. You can just, I can see what the quick scan have done, how many files it's done, how many problems, and so forth. So it's a brilliant program. I'd put it on the screen, but it's a bit pointless because I've got 4K screen and it'll look really small on the presentation. So, but it gives you a rough idea. So guys, if you do have any more questions before we end the show in a few minutes, make sure you send them over. And obviously, Gary will go through them. And don't forget that not competition, it's a giveaway. He is giving you 10 licenses if you're one of the first 100 people. So send him an email with your name, your address, company name, just so he can basically verify you're a reseller. He'll send you 10 licenses over for free. Doesn't cost you a penny. So I can't complain at that, to be honest with you. Right, let's have a look what David's saying. Got the trial downloaded on my ThinkPad. Looking forward to receiving some licenses, as lots of features on the trial are locked. I have seen the website, and there is a that there is a partner section. Do we sign up via that?
At this point, just send me the email, and we'll send an invite to it's a different section that we're building for partners. So that will be the link. But if you send me the email, David, I'll send you the licenses. You'll get all the features, and then you're good to go, and you can sell some of the other licenses and make a few quid.
That sounds pretty good. So yeah, guys. So if you're interested in free licenses or signing up for now, just email Gary. They are in the process of obviously building the partner program or website or whatever, but obviously it's an ideal time for you to basically tell Gary what you want to see on there as well. So there might be some features you might want to see or do or whatever, and it might be something they can implement in the future, or maybe even quicker, you never know. So that sounds pretty good to me. I must admit I am pretty impressed with it, and I would like to see a retail box, or should we say card or whatever, because you always get those customers what come in your shop. They don't want a printed out license key. They don't want to go through things. All they want to do is have a license key on a piece of card, tells them the web address they'll go to, and away you go, which is pretty good. I'm going to say you've sent me the license over, obviously, to install the one I've got on this machine, and it was pretty straightforward. You just download the file. I didn't have an issue downloading it, but download the file, install, you put the license key in, put your name and your email address and stuff like that in, press next, and bang, it's pretty much done. It didn't take long to install or set up. Very, very impressed actually with you. It's especially with some of the extra features in there, like the encryption and stuff, which I haven't. I can't say I've seen of any of the security products I've been using recently, or ever. To be honest, I'm not saying there isn't any out there that don't do it, but I haven't seen any. Yeah, so Richard says not having a physical product does put some customers off and makes it harder to sell. Yeah, Richard, he's in the process. They're in the process of sorting that out. So I'm pretty sure at some point soon.
I'm pleased if you've got some suggestions on what the product you'd like it to look like, because at the moment we're looking at a nice card which is individual. It's got the logos on. It's got the individual key on. But if it's, does it need to be in a box? Does it need to be a card that you can give someone and take away? Any suggestions, I'll take on board.
Yeah. To be honest, for me, a card's happy enough. I don't think we need a box now. No one's using CD. Well, there are a few, but not many people are using CDs anymore.
Yeah.
So just a card would be fine if it's folded over card with a bit of tape on it, or if it's one of these scratchy strip things, whatever. Absolutely fine, I think. Whichever works out cheaper for the reseller, I suppose. And Richard's saying ideal product for me would be a card that hangs on a hook with a free device license. There you go. Okay. So can't get more precise than that.
No, thank you.
Do you have any? He'll probably be telling you color optimizations and stuff in a few minutes as well, telling you, I want it to fit with my logo and stuff. And again, as you can see, Gary and the team at Wardwiz, they seem to be very easy to work with. They're wanting to work with resellers. They're wanting, obviously, your help, obviously, to push the product, but also how to actually sell it as well. So they're asking for how do you want the licenses to look and so forth. There you go, in green. I think that goes a bit against your blue, and it'll mark a bit of a contrast there, Wardwiz. But there you go. So no doubt someone will say pink in a minute. So there we go.
Oh, blue. Just on the subject, I was back in the day. We were the first in my old company, European Mike. We were the first official distributor for WatchGuard technologies, and if you recall, their boxes are always red. Yeah. And our customer's customer ordered one of the first ones, and we went to install it on their behalf with our engineers, and it was at Goodison Park in Everton. And we brought this red box in, and they went, "No, we're not having a red one." And we went, "They're all red." "Well, we're not having it." And we had to take it back and paint it blue. And it was the only blue WatchGuard box in the country. We just painted it and put it in for them, and they were okay. So, but I'm not sure we'll do that with all the cards.
That's it. Well, William Murr is probably wanting a bit of a headache with his. It wants it green, blue, and a touch of pink. So, I think you'd be scaring customers away with that colour combination if you put that in your window. They think they're going into some sort of a rave or something with all the those sort of colours and fluorescent pinks and all sorts. But there we go. Right, guys, we're pretty much at the end of the show. So, Gary, what I'm going to get you to do is just do a quick rundown again, basically in a couple of paragraphs, why people should buy Wardwiz and any other bits you'd like to add in. Okay, thanks, Phil, and thank you for having me on the show. To all you resellers and all you viewers, do email me at gary@wardwiz.com. I do want to give away £40,000 retail value of licensed keys to the viewers of this show. I want you all to see what the product's like. I believe in it. Phil's seen it firsthand, and he likes it. It's a great product. It's a great opportunity for you guys or for all of us to start building a partnership going forward, and you get a revenue stream for the next 10, 20, 30 years, which would be brilliant. Certainly, we're here for the long term, and if we start this journey by giving you some free licenses, and we work closely with you to get you the right marketing, to make it easier, and we're a small company right now. It won't take much for us to become a lot bigger. We're doing a lot of things behind the scenes. We're keen to work with you. We've got great features in the product. So give it a try. I'm sure you'll be satisfied and very happy with the product, and that will give you the confidence to supply it to your customers. Okay, that sounds pretty good. I think you've ticked pretty much every single box out there, to be honest with you, on the show. There is one question from David just before we go. He's saying, how long is the free trial? The ones that you sign up for, these license keys, is he talking about? Or I think he's on about the free trial on the website. I'm not sure. If it
I think
means that one,
I
but
think the free trial normally lasts a month, but actually when you download it, as I think David found, or one of your other viewers found, is you don't get all the features on the free trial anyway. So it will encourage you to sign
upgrade or
up
whatever.
and buy a full license.
Best thing for you to do, David, is basically send him an email if you haven't already. I'm pretty sure you have. Send him an email, get your 10 licenses and use one yourself, see how it works. And then if you know how it works and how all the features done, it's easier for you to sell the product as well. Also, guys, don't forget when you're selling security, sell it as a service as well. So, ways to make extra money. You can service people's computers, do them like a cleanup and so forth, sell them some security together, make a bundle out of it, even do them a backup, and God knows what. There's many things you can do. As McDonald's always does, they always ask you, you want fries with that? And basically that's what you need to be doing as well. So make sure you're adding in all your extras to get all your extra pennies. Don't miss out on them because it all does add up quite a bit. Even an extra tenner a day over a year works out at, 3,650 quid. So if you can make an extra tenner a day, hey, it adds up. So there you go. So,
and if you do that, you'll get the tenner when they renew next year as well. So next year you'll be getting £20 a day.
Well, there you go. So even better. So I think that's it for the show tonight. So guys, thank you for watching. Thank you, Gary, for being on the show and showing off this brilliant product. I think it will definitely fill a lot of people's wants and needs. But I would recommend everyone does email Gary. I'm saying this for the last time. Gary at wardwiz.com. That's GARY, the @ WARDWIZ.com. Email him, and basically he'll send you 10 licenses worth 400 quid. Okay, as long as you're the first 100. If you're watching this show a day or two after, or even a week after, or you listen to it on a podcast, email him anyway. He may just have a few licenses left over. You never know. So it won't hurt you. Even if it says no, you've still got a decent contact. So there we go. So right, guys, I'll see you all next Thursday, 8 o'clock. If any of you are going to the Target trade show tomorrow, give us a wave because I will be seeing you tomorrow if you are there. So just make sure you just look for the really tall guy. Well, you know what I look like. You can see me. So, but I'll be there. I'll tell you one story, though. It's always hard recognizing people on communities like this because if you look at the little pictures they've got on Facebook and YouTube and stuff like that and LinkedIn, sometimes they're not even pictures of themselves, they're pictures of dogs and cats, so you don't actually know what these people look like in real life when you've been communicating with them. So it can get a little bit confusing. But anyway, I digress. So let's get back to the main thing. Is we're on next week, Thursday, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. You know the drill. If you are interested in being a Tech for Tech member and you're not a Tech for Tech member already, make sure you go to the Tech for Tech's website. I'll put it on the screen now, which is, if I get the right button, is techfortechs.co.uk/join. It'll let you join the Facebook community of over 1,360 members. It's totally free to join, doesn't cost you a penny. You'll be able to interact with other resellers, MSPs, vendors, distributors. You know the drill. Basically, just remember though, fill the questions in when it asks you, because if you don't answer the questions, you're not getting in, and we're just going to say decline because you just not answered them. Okay, so please make sure you do. Right, otherwise, I'll let everyone go. Good night, everyone. We'll see you next week, Thursday at 8. Thanks again, and see you next time.